Good afternoon. Welcome back to the channel. This video is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own research, make your own decisions. All right, guys, welcome back. So I'm going to give my thoughts on some ICP related stuff, and this is going to be more so like general. And, you know, I have spent a lot of time in recent weeks and really over the last year trying to think of ways that I could be wrong about this, going back through my entire investment thesis, my outlook on how this is all going to come together. And I just can't do it. The only bear arguments that I've heard for 2 years have just been price. I don't think anybody that's commented in my comment section about ICP calling it a scam because none of them can explain anything about ICP. If I were to ask any last one of them, which I'm going to start doing this from here on out, it's going to be like an automated response. I'm just going to have it copy and paste it, just bam. Explain the difference between ICP canisters and Ethereum smart contracts, or insert any other layer one outside of Ethereum, their smart contracts. Explain the difference between those two things. And they won't be able to do it because they've done no research, and their research took about 10 seconds. So I just don't understand why people, you know, guys, and I'm consistent on this. When y'all, all right, so throughout the history of this channel, I've been asked about tons of different cryptos. A lot of them that I haven't really looked into. Some of them I have looked into, I just haven't done a full deep dive. And even on ones that I've looked into for like 30 minutes to an hour, I'll even say in those scenarios, I did a general overview. It looks legit. I think it'll probably do well, but I haven't done a deep dive. So dig into this for yourself, because I just did basic level research. So I haven't done enough research to have that informed of an opinion. I've said that in my comments tons of times, and will continue to say it because I'm not stupid. And I don't do barely any research and then comment on something like I know what I'm talking about. But some of you do on a regular basis. I mean, you got institutions like HashKey who got the first licensed crypto exchange approved in Hong Kong. Let me say that again. The first licensed crypto exchange approved in Hong Kong. And some of you think you have a better read on this than institutions like that from your anonymous fucking account in my comments. It's like the arrogance in crypto. I'm telling you, it's literally, it's in a perpetual parabola, a never-ending parabola, right? So as arrogance continues to go up, ignorance continues to go up right along with it. And it's incredible. And I know that, again, I know I come off like that, but that's only because of my delivery and my tone. If you listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth, they're really not coming from an arrogant place. I don't act like I know where the price is going, because I fucking don't. I'm not going to lie and say that I do. And I actually spend a lot of time thinking about ways that I could be wrong about everything. And I even normally lay out, like, hey, these are the possible scenarios. Let's put some degree of probability on these different scenarios. Not, oh, this is definitely going to happen. Like, I genuinely spend a lot of time trying to figure out how I could be wrong. I spend more time thinking about how I could be wrong about ICP than most of the people. For the people shitposting in my comments, I've spent more time thinking about how I could be wrong about ICP than they spent time looking into ICP altogether. So, but fortunately for a lot of you, you're on an anonymous account, and if and when you're wrong, you get to disappear, right? You're never going to experience the humility that you should after this plays out, assuming you're wrong. But anything's possible. I could be wrong, right? I just assume let this play out, and reality will play out, and we'll be able to look back and say, okay, these people knew what they were talking about, these people didn't. But it wasn't the safe thing for me to do to come out and more or less stake my entire reputation, my entire channel on the success of ICP, right? That wasn't the safe thing to do. That's why a lot of influencers don't talk about ICP, and if they do, they just call it a scam like everybody else, because they view that as the safe thing, because that's what everybody else is doing. So many people in this space, that's their standard operating procedure, is they look at what everybody else thinks, and then that's what they think, right? And then so they hear somebody like me saying things that other people aren't saying, And it's like they get shitty because they hear something that doesn't align with their preconceived notions that they came up with after listening to the masses. But, you know, again, I would just ask you, I couldn't tell you how many hours I've spent looking into this. I have no idea. Lost count. It's consumed most of my life. And so for somebody who's spent 10 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute, it's like, why would you care what your opinion is? I don't even form an opinion on things that I haven't looked into. I'll just say, I haven't looked into it, right? And I mean, for me to have a really strong opinion on something, there has to be a lot of evidence. And I have to have done a lot of research. Outside of that, I don't formulate a strong opinion. It is so bizarre to me how people do this in the crypto space. It really is. And that kind of, you know, that kind of should be a warning sign to a lot of people that you might be on the wrong side of this. Because, and being on the wrong side of ICP is going to have very, very, very big consequences. Especially for people who are doxxed. For people who are doxxed, it's over. They will either pivot and capitulate, or they will find something else to do. Because that's how big this is going to be if it does not go to zero. And it's not going to be a gray area. I heard some of y'all hedging your bets in the comment section over the last couple weeks. Well, if there's another, it'll probably pump on the next bull market just because everything pumps. No. See, the thing is the entire bear case is that the price is down by this far. The second that changes, the bear case goes out the fucking window. So, you know, price goes up, the bear case fucking collapses, okay? And if the bear case fucking collapses, and if this thing doesn't go to zero, everybody who dismissed this, and especially content creators. I mean, again, guys, for a lot of you anonymous reply guys, nobody cares. You're putting nothing on the line because you have no conviction in your bear thesis either. If you did, like, how about this? Just put your name and your face on camera and your work bio, and then get on your fucking computer and make a video explaining why ICP is a scam, and then have the balls to leave it up after this all plays out. See, but you're not going to do that, right? Because you don't want to look like an idiot if you're wrong, because you're really not that sure of yourself to begin with. You can't be because you spent no time looking into it. So any lie that you tell yourself that you're certain that XYZ is going to happen with this is just your own delusion. You're trying to convince yourself. You're not trying to convince me. That's what some of you are doing when you come in my comments. You're trying to convince yourself. Why? I have no idea. I have no idea, because I don't look into things that I think are scams. And if I do look into it and I determine that I think it's a scam, I don't ever look into it ever again. Right? But this is really something that's fascinating in this space, the way people do that. It's like they follow investments that they think are scams just to tell everybody else that they're scams on a daily basis, right? But for the content creators that have taken, you know, anti-ICP positions, they're all going to have to capitulate. You know, because the thing is that this is bigger than, like, people think that their opinion is bigger than, like, this whole operation. Right, like this whole entire transition over to all of this new technology, it is more important than anybody. It's above everybody's pay grade. It's above Gary Gensler's pay grade. No one person, no one anything matters as it relates to the magnitude of this. And that's why it's continuing to move forward. That's why it's the one common denominator in the world right now. You can look all around the world and it just looks like there's chaos and confusion happening everywhere. And to some degree, that's true. But what's the one common denominator? Every single large fucking institution all over the world and every single industry is all implementing blockchain technology, distributed ledger technology. So, that being the case, biggest technical operation in world history, unless you have another one you want to put in the comments that is potentially a bigger technical operation in world history than this. I don't know of one, but that's happening all over the world right now, despite all these other crazy things going on. You see countries that are on the BRICS side implementing this tech, and you all see countries that are on the NATO side implementing this tech. Everybody's doing it, right? So that should really be the indicator that this is the big thing. The point that I'm trying to make here is that this is so big that your opinion doesn't fucking matter. My opinion doesn't fucking matter. This is all going to continue to move forward the way that it's supposed to. And really, it's just a matter of looking at all the available evidence to try to form your own opinion on how it's all going to come together, right? And so that's what I've tried to do. And some of you have not tried to do that, but yet you want to tell me that I'm wrong about mine. Well, you don't even have an alternative hypothesis. You don't even have a guess at where most Web3 services are going to be. What do you think, they're going to be on Amazon Web Services? Maybe they are. I don't know. So there's not going to be a Web3, I guess. That's, you know what I mean? So it's like, I just love hearing that I'm wrong from people that have no alternative perspective. It's just, you're wrong. Okay, well then how's it going to play out? Not the way that you said it, right? I mean, I'm telling you, man, some of y'all have fallen into a very, I don't even know how to describe it. You're not using logic and reason, right? And that's why a lot of people haven't came on this channel, right? And that's why I will put my balls on the table as ICP's hitting new lows, as the 99% masses are screaming scam. And I'll get on camera and say everything that I'm saying right now with 99.9% confidence is going to play out the way that I think it's going to play out. Maybe it doesn't. That's possible, right? But I've thought through about every single possible scenario that could play out. And the people that are commenting in my comment section have spent no time looking into this at all. So, and another thing too, it's like, if you're betting against ICP, dude, you're betting against the evolution of technology, man. You would have been the same person betting against the internet, betting against social media, betting against the iPhone. I mean, you're betting against the advancement of technology. So you think that because you looked at a chart for 5 seconds, that your analysis of what that means, right? Chart equals scam. End of story. No more analysis needed. But it also is light years beyond everything else in the space as far as technology. So how do you explain that? What's your explanation for why that is the case? So the chart looks like a scam. Okay. All right. Fair point. I could make the case that a lot of others look like that too. I guess you could pull the whole, well, they're not down this far, but I mean, that's just we're talking about a degree of volatility. If you look at the valuations, they're right around with many of the blue chips. So you do a 5-second analysis of the price, you determine it's a scam, case closed. But then it's like you're confronted with a lot of other factual things that are very hard to make sense of if you determine that it's a scam. Like, why is it light years beyond everything else as far as technology if it's a scam? Why are all the institutions in China/Hong Kong that are involved in the crypto blockchain space and transition, why are they all pretty pro ICP and have been for a while? How do you explain that? How do you explain what's happening in Lugano with ICP, right? How do you explain the fact that the second largest blockchain network that's been adopted by tons and tons and tons of institutions, their own founder has openly said, yeah, this is, they're at the leading edge of the space as far as technology. We consider them an aspirational sister network. How do you explain that? You think you have a better read on this than Vitalik? You think you have a better read on this than Wancheng, than Hashkey, than the city of Lugano, than Andreessen Horowitz? You, anonymous fucking retail reply guy, you have a better fucking read on this than all them. After doing 5 seconds of research. You see how stupid that sounds? You see how fucking just insane that sounds? It makes no fucking sense at all. So it's like, I'm tired of hearing it. And so I'm going to start literally just snapping you into oblivion in my comment section. I'm fine having a back and forth, okay? I'm fine having a back and forth, but I have wasted a lot of my fucking time over the last 12 months going back and forth with people. And then I'll say, okay, I'm done. Get on camera this weekend, get on camera, send me an email, and we'll set up a time, and you need to have your name and your face, your full name and your face on camera. All of a sudden, they fucking stop responding very, very quickly. And so I'm not wasting any more of my time going back and forth with you anonymous reply guys. Nobody gives a fuck. Listen to what I'm telling you, okay? Stand in front of the fucking mirror every morning and repeat this to yourself until it fucking sinks into your thick fucking skull. Nobody gives a fuck about your opinion, okay? And if you want people to care about your opinion, I'm gonna tell you what you should do. You should shut the fuck up and get out of my comment section. And then you should go start your own channel, right? And put your name or whatever fucking name on your channel. And then you should start creating content and giving your opinion. And you will find out whether or not anybody gives a fuck about your opinion. Okay? That's what you should do. That's what I would recommend you doing. But don't bring that shit over here, because this is my channel where I give my opinion and I tell you that I don't give a fuck about your opinion. Okay? So it's just a different format. All right? My channel is not for your opinion. If it was, it would be titled, you know, I would be reaching out to you. Like, why do people think, you know, this thing where people would just give unsolicited advice and opinions, like anybody gives a fuck? It's like that's the true sign that you're projecting. Is the first thing I say is, why would anybody care about your opinion? Why would you even care about your opinion if you've done no research? But the fact that these people think that other people are going to care, like you're an anonymous reply guy. You're in a comment section talking to somebody. And what the fuck is going through your mind that makes you think that anybody on the receiving end of your comment is going to give two fucks about your opinion? Why do you think people care about your opinion? Why? You're an anonymous reply guy in a comment section. Do you care? Let's turn the tables here. Do you care about the opinions of anonymous reply guys telling you you're wrong? No, you don't? Okay, cool. So why do you think anybody else gives a fuck about your opinion? Have you ever thought about that? No? Okay, well, you've spent about the same amount of time thinking about that as you did looking into ICP, which is why so many of you say so much stupid shit. All that being said, doesn't mean that ICP is going to succeed and go on to become the open public internet. Maybe some of you reply guys are going to end up being right about this, okay? But it's not because you put the time in and did your research and so on and so forth. Just because certain circumstances and factors happened and led to certain results. Sometimes things don't play out the way they look like they're going to play out after you do all your research. But looking at a chart for 5 seconds is not doing research, dude. You're LARPing. You are LARPing. And I used to hate the term LARPing until I actually saw it happening on a daily basis. Now it's like one of my favorite terms because it's so true. People are playing I used to call it playing make-believe. People are playing make-believe expert everywhere they go, right? It's like they feel like they have to formulate an opinion on everything. Just saying I don't fucking know is acceptable. I say I don't know in a lot of shit. You know what back to my last video, and then I'm going to shut it down here. But when I first got on here, and those of you OGs will remember this, I used to think the price of Bitcoin was legit. I thought it was based on buying and selling and supply and demand. And, you know, if there's more buying pressure than selling pressure, price goes up on the spot market. That's how I thought the price was calculated, right? Because I didn't do my research. And then I started reading into the leverage trading market. I started understanding how all this works to the best of my ability, to the extent that I wanted to. And I found out I was wrong. And so I had to start looking at this differently because the way that I was looking at it and my own perception of how it worked was not accurate, right? And so, but that was only through putting the time in and actually looking into it and educating myself. And, you know, some of y'all don't want to do that, but you want to play make-believe expert, right? And, you know, I don't know is an acceptable answer. You don't have to have an opinion on everything. The more opinions you have on more things without doing any research and being informed, again, they're worthless, absolutely worthless. Just like everybody who's on YouTube right now and on Twitter talking about their opinion on whether they think the market's going to go up or down. And there's only two fucking options. There's only two outcomes. And there's millions of people talking about, I think it's going to go up or I think it's going to go down. It's worthless, right? And you can tell just because it's so easy. It's in abundance. It's like they're multiplying. There's more people popping up every fucking day. It's just like, you know, the money supply. The more and more and more and more and more and more and more of it exists, it's because it's genuinely worthless, right? There's very few people actually covering the technology itself, use case, functionality, and talking about how all this is going to come together, because that's actually valuable content. Talking about price going up or down is not valuable at all unless you're very accurate with it over a long period of time, which most people aren't. So those are my thoughts, guys. Let me see if I got anything else here. Yeah, you're betting against technology, man. And again, you know, fortunately for you, you're on an anonymous account, so you will escape the humility that you should have to experience. But for the content creators, man, you know, I feel bad for those people. I really do. The smart ones will acknowledge they're wrong early, assuming this all plays out the way I expect it to, which nothing's ever a sure thing, and I could be wrong. But the smart ones will acknowledge they're wrong early, and the stupid ones will double down, triple down until their reputation collapses and they have to go find something else to do. And they become a perma-bear. That's what will happen. They'll just become a perma-bear. And that's how I see this playing out. I see a lot of people getting humbled. So, and it might turn out the way that the people who did all the fucking research in the world, hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and days and weeks and months of research, turn out to be wrong, and the people who did no research turn out to be right. That's possible. I just don't think it's very likely, because most of the people who did any significant degree of research into ICP came to similar conclusions, and most people who did no research into ICP also came to similar conclusions. So, yeah. That's all I got, guys. That's it. Take care. Probably get another video out this weekend. Take care. Have a good day. I'll see you in the next video.